All right. Hello. Welcome to the Town of Litchfield Recreation Commission meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. The time is 7:30 p.m. We are meeting in person at Town Hall Conference Room, and we have two members requesting to join remotely this evening. So therefore, we'll start off with a roll call of members physically present, and then I will entertain a motion to allow the two to attend remotely. As a reminder, because we have members attending remotely, all our votes will need to be handled in a roll call manner. All right, so roll call of members present. My name is Steve Gannon. I am here. Vice Chair, Mr. Andy Ruggles.
Present.
Member Mike Bosky.
Here.
Member Chris Burns.
Present.
Alternate member Jeff Town.
Present.
I will entertain a motion to allow members Peter Ames and Judy Brennan to participate remotely via WebEx this evening.
So move.
Thank you, Chris. Second, please.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying, oh, we got a roll call vote. Mr. Town?
Do I vote tonight?
We're gonna tonight because Steve's out, so we'll appoint you this evening. Although he is
7.
I don't know if he can be appointed for Steve.
for Steve because Steve's a selectman's rep.
He's a selectman's rep.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So sorry, Jeff, not
That's
tonight.
okay. Easy night.
All right.
Still give your input though.
Mr. Andy
Aye.
Ruggles. I am an aye. Mr. Chris Burns. Mr. Mike Bosky.
Aye.
That's 4-0. So Mr. Peter Ames is online as well as Judy Brennan. Mr. Weber is absent tonight as he is working the town elections. So we do have a full board of 6-0. Jeff is an alternate. Jeff, as a reminder, you can make motions, you could participate in conversations and discussions. You just cannot vote when it comes time to do so. Something I should mention, last meeting, we decided not to meet, but I don't believe we notified the gentleman who takes our meeting minutes. So my apologies to Mr. Matthew Sullivan. We should have notified Matthew that we weren't going to have a meeting that evening. He just actually messaged me a minute ago asking if we did have a meeting. Peter, as a secretary going forward, can you kind of remind us that to notify Mr. Sullivan when we're not going to meet?
Yes, we'll do. Good thought. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jeff, once again, our apologies. Mr. Sullivan, Matthew Sullivan, once again, sorry. Our apologies. All right. Public input. There's nobody here, nobody online. Facilities and field requests. Nothing has been submitted. New business, the Facebook page. I recently granted all members full rights to manage and monitor the Recreation Commission's Facebook page and a WordPress web page. I know Judy asked to have permission to do it. Judy, have you had any chance to look at it or play with it at all?
I haven't got on the website yet, but I mean, Facebook is easy enough. I just we always have so much going on, or all the little things that we do that I think the public isn't aware of, and I'd like to put some of that out there and have just more people aware of the Recreation Commission, and I kind of want to get that, be more visible out to the community, especially before we apply, if we get approval to apply with the AARP as a livable community. That's one of the things they're going to look at. And so I think a lot of people don't know all those little things we do that add up. And I know some of you may not be comfortable taking pictures or having someone take a picture of you while you're doing something, but I think it's important that we should get it out there. So that's really all I wanted to say on the topic. And maybe Steve, you can sit with me a little bit, or someone who's more familiar than I am with the website. I don't mind keeping things updated. I can try to be there to take pictures if, the timing works out. And if not, if you guys can just grab pictures when you get something going on. If you don't, you can send it to me and I can put it up for you. You don't have to worry about something extra that you guys have to do. So that's really all I wanted to say about that.
I will. Jeff also is familiar with the webpage a little. You tinkered with it. So either one of us will gladly sit with you and help you out. And
Okay.
if you need to have any questions or anything to do with the Facebook page, certainly reach out and we'll give you any assistance we can.
Okay.
That's all we have for new business. Old business fishing derby update. I thought Harry was going to be with us tonight from the Conservation Commission, but I know Jeff and Harry have been meeting, and I authorized the allocation of $350 for the purchase of fish. Do you have anything you'd like to contribute to that?
Harry was gonna come at our next meeting.
Our next one? Okay.
Is Harry aware that we allocated money from the Recreation Commission for the fish?
Don't
I'll
know.
check with him.
Yeah.
He said he ordered the fish, and I thought he was just using the money from
Conservation.
conservation.
Well, I did get a message from Karen White asking if it's authorized, for the 350. So
Okay.
he must have submitted it
Maybe he
and they
did.
split it accordingly.
Okay.
But he did go ahead and order the fish.
Yeah, and they were a lot more expensive than expected, like everything else.
I was going to say, even the price of fish has gone up.
Even the price of fish has gone up.
All right. So Harry will be with us next week then, or next meeting.
Yes.
That's all we had for old business. Other business. As a reminder, Judy, March, you are the primary contact for the Recreation Commission email.
Yeah, I've been checking and I haven't had anything yet other than kind of spam stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, just kind of all we ask is to respond and engage in a timely manner so they know we're there. And then,
Yep.
Jeff, you will be on the hook in April. So right now, we're just kind of talking about this briefly. We think it'll be kind of quiet for the next couple of weeks, but then once softball and soccer and baseball start ramping up and planning things, anticipate some email correspondence coming in. Mike did mention tonight he reached out to soccer, right?
And lacrosse.
And lacrosse, let them know to try to get their schedule worked on.
And I'll let baseball know, and Steve will let softball know. Steve does both of those schedules, so
Yeah.
That won't be a problem. Is there any what other leagues that were
In the spring, no.
bidding?
In the spring.
You and I talked about this briefly the other day. Last year or last 2 years, you worked as the liaison with
Oh, right.
with Ryan and Natticook Landscaping. Are you comfortable with proceeding with that, working with Alliance?
Sure.
All right, thank you. We'll reach out. What I'd like to do is get a hold of the contact at Alliance, have him meet us here one day, and then we'll just kind of walk around the fields and explain to him what
Yeah.
we're anticipating. And
That's a good idea. Was it Glenn?
Glenn, yeah, I don't, is it Hilson or
Glenn Hilson.
Hilson?
Yeah.
He's a Litchfield resident as well.
Yeah, we can probably meet on a Saturday and just
Yeah. I'd like to just be clear what we're expecting and what we're looking for, so that there's no surprises.
I know where the sprinklers are and all that. Or
Yeah,
If we knew, we would.
But some of there's some large holes we had to usually. So.
Yeah, right.
Ryan cleared them out last year. They were like, some of them were big.
Where you cut around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grass falls back in. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be taking, as far as the tractor goes, the tractor is available. They're just waiting for the attachments, so the bucket, whatever else. It was probably on that ship that sank in the middle of the ocean. But they did,
Good thing is when you go to buy gas for it, it should be
Oh, yeah, yeah, it should
relatively
be-
cheap.
yeah.
Come in under budget, yeah.
Yeah. But the tractor, I guess they do have it in Milford. Yeah, it's a diesel, small diesel.
we're going to store it. Highway department.
No, it'll be at the old fire station.
Oh, Okay, the old fire
So
station.
it's going in the old shed.
The old, I think,
Okay. Steve, didn't you and Jay renovate that? Just had a
Yep.
recent renovation inside? All the secret work you've been doing in there?
yeah, Jay and I have been down there working on a lot of the Conservation Commission equipment. So we got the brush hog fixed. We're working on the police department's quad. We fixed the Conservation Commission's trailer. They have the old voting trailer. So they had a leak. We fixed that. So Jay's changing the name from the old fire station to the Conservation and Recreation Commission. I don't know if he's calling it a garage or facility or
Repair facility.
repair facility.
I think it's a man cave with a big screen TV. I heard a couple couches in there.
That's only upstairs.
Yeah.
Now I know why you're spending so much time.
Is there like a
there.
sliding?
Yeah.
Door
You gotta
gotta get
there's a
the
secret
password.
knock.
Secret password to get in.
And we are actively looking for a trailer. We're going to buy a used trailer. There's still money allocated from conservation for that, but it just seems as fast as we find it, we schedule time to go look at it, it gets sold. But we'll work something out to get it moving it around if we can take possession of the tractor before it comes in. I'm sure Kevin.
Driving it up 3A.
Yeah. We'll put one of those little signs on it. Nobody will hit us. Kevin Brown, the road agent, will work with us on getting it moved if need be. That's all I have.
Should we vote on the minutes?
Oh, that was right at the top. Yes. Yeah, I skipped that one, didn't I? Consideration of previous minutes. Thank you, Mike. We have one to approve, and that was on February 8th, 2022. We had a full commission that evening with Mr. Town being remote.
Was that the one?
What was it?
Yeah, you wrote.
Yeah.
So it was full beside you.
Yeah.
February 8th? Were you gone?
It was an excused absence.
Yes.
Excused absence.
My first one.
Wow. All right. So has everybody had a chance to read them, look them over?
I did.
All right. I'll accept a motion to approve the February 8th, 2022 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Mike,
One second.
Chris. All those in, roll call vote. Jeff, you were in attendance that evening, right?
I believe I
Nope,
was.
you were,
Virtual.
yep, you were virtual, you're remote, so you can vote on the meeting minutes because you were there, so do you approve?
Yes.
You were absent?
Abstain.
Abstained? I approve.
Yes.
Mr. Burns approved.
Yes.
Mr. Bosky, Mr. Ames,
Aye, yes.
Ms. Brennan,
I
motion carries 6-0-1 with Mr. Ruggles abstaining.
For some old business, I have to apologize. I've been between being sick and then on vacation and trying to unbury myself from work. I haven't had a chance to put together some stuff for the doors of town hall.
Yep.
I did look at the door
Yeah.
where you said it was sticking.
Yeah.
We don't normally dog that door open, so that it's like that. So I haven't seen it happen. I'm going to be down there again on Sunday, so I can take a closer look at it to see, because I was just trying it where I was hitting the crash bar and it was
That
working
works
fine.
fine.
It was working fine.
So I looked at it,
From the outside.
Chris, and the problem is when you push the crash bar in, it doesn't go in quite far enough when you lock it.
when you lock it,
When you
right.
lock it, it comes back out just like a half an
Yeah.
inch or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what's letting it flip back up.
So I'll talk to my locksmith at work and see if
There's
there's
an
any
adjustment
ideas.
on
Yeah,
that.
if there's an adjustment we
I
can make.
did.
on
I
it.
lubed it all up though. I, used the,
Yeah,
and it didn't do anything.
no change.
It's that. It's
Right.
that.
Now
problem.
that's the
Yeah, it
front
just
door,
doesn't-
right?
It's front door.
Yeah.
Yeah. double
Usually with the front door, we aren't
We never use it.
locking it open
Right.
because
Right.
everyone's supposed to go around the back.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
or it's a bigger event and we put the rock out there to hold the
Right.
door open.
Right.
So that's why I've never really noticed it before. So
Yeah. We at softball, whether it's rec or blast, we don't dog that open.
Yeah.
We dog the back door
the
open.
back door, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just,
So I haven't
Yeah.
noticed that either. But I'll talk to my locksmith. See what he says.
We should probably come up with something to hold the doors open besides a rock or a trash can or, you know.
Yeah, that's why it'd be nice if that worked. Then we wouldn't need to use the rock.
The rock's nice and cheap.
Again, it was one of those things where it shouldn't really be happening much. You know what I mean? It usually happens at the big events, like, you know, either when there used to be comedy nights or something like that, then you do it. But
Right.
most of the time, you have people coming in the backside. So.
That's it. The other thing we have to note too, I've been called twice to Talent Hall because they didn't unlock the crash bar, and then somebody go into whatever, open the back door, and then the alarm starts going off. So that's something we got to remind the members who are opening the doors and unlocking them to remember to lock them when they're completed.
The tough part with that is though, like for instance, I was on Sundays, I'm the first one there, but there's 4 other groups behind me.
It shouldn't be that. It's before you leave and alarm the place, you should make sure all those doors are secure.
Absolutely. Whoever's turning that
We
alarm
have to have
on.
a standing operating procedure, and we'll put it out the door. Well, we don't want to put the alarm code, but something so they know to make sure all the doors are locked, make sure the lights are off. Well, the lights should leave on because they're all motion. Make sure the alarm is set. I also talked with Troy about, so the town is going through and replacing all the street lights with LEDs. And I mentioned it to Troy to see if we can get the 2 that are at Talent Hall in the parking lot, and then halfway through the parking lot replaced, and then maybe add a 3rd one to where the gate is, because there's a dark spot there between the parking lot and the building. So he said when they come into town to start working on that, he'll let us know if.
I thought that was supposed to happen like 2 years ago. I feel like we've had this conversation
it was
before.
last year. They were supposed to come in, and then I don't know what happened, but they were only going to be like $100 a head, and then we were going to get a kickback through EverSource. That kind of fell through, but now they're going to honor it again.
Gotcha.
But
They get stuck in one of the storage containers that never made it over.
probably. But if you look at the school had CHS has all new LED lights, and it's much, much brighter. So we may not need to have that 3rd light put in, because they're piercing. They're quite bright in that parking lot.
Can't hide in the corner anymore, huh?
No. There's also, when the gentleman's here, I want to talk to him about, I got an email showing what kind of lights, and possibly have one mounted on the pavilion, maybe something solar or even something that's motion detected. So if somebody's under there at night, it'll go off and try to just deter kids from climbing the roof. All right. Anything else anybody would like to discuss?
Yeah, I have just one question, just looking ahead to our next couple of meetings. Can I get a reminder of what the timeline was for officer elections? As I recall, I think we wanted to be just after March to allow for any members that the select board approved, and I believe it was early April. I just wanted a reminder of what that time is.
Yep, I was actually looking at that this evening, and looking at the meeting minutes, the last time we did it, it took effect April, I think it was like 13th. So it would probably be our next meeting that we would do it.
I think I expire.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
I
I know my term is over.
however you want to say it.
Yeah, so the next meeting is, I guess,
Still March.
that's still March. When does the terms end? Are you bailing on us, Mike?
I didn't say I was bailing. Give me a week. I might just change. No, I
Things
mean,
might change. Very fluid moment.
so usually
January, March.
I thought somebody had said end of March.
We have that.
So who?
we have that. Hold on. Let me.
I know we did at one point, but we didn't do it till like June, but I think that's when,
No, so when we changed the bylaws, I don't know when we updated the bylaws, we did do the officer elections to try and coincide, I think it was probably the first meeting in April. Like if last year was April 13th, it was probably the meeting right before that.
So
because
Right, so.
you want to get through the elections. The selectmen have to meet. They have to appoint a person to be the rep, because that happens at their first meeting. I think they reassign who their reps are and everything. But I'm not sure when we need to. I mean, technically, I guess we're supposed to submit people to be
Nominated by the end of
nominated back
March.
in to renew their terms.
The bylaws say the first regular meeting in May.
Okay.
What it says.
Well, so
So it is May. Oh,
I think so. It says on here I was elected 4/13/21, and so was Peter, you, and Chris.
so that's when the elections were then. Oh, that's when the
when they-
voting on the office.
Yeah, we came in, and no, the voting on the officers actually did happen in May because I was here for that. Because I remember when they voted on it. I was an alternate at the time.
So members come and go in March and then in May?
No, in April.
April.
So the
Change in
first
April.
meeting in April, I guess, and then
That makes sense.
All right, so members, like you said, members change in April and then in May,
you have the elections.
have the election.
Or the
I guess if one of the officers leaves, then you gotta
Right, that's what I was.
You'd have to have a.
at the next meeting.
All right, so to answer your question, Mr. Ames, it looks like that will occur, I guess it would be our first meeting in April, which would be the 12th.
Well, those would be for new members, right? So what I'm hearing is the select board will appoint, and any new terms would start in April, and then officer elections would be the first meeting in May.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Judy expires and Mike expires. The
Sounds like
Yeah, I
milking.
told you I expired.
Expired.
Duty expires, but Mike's term ends.
Yes. My term expires.
Peter and Steve are.
I'll try not to expire by then, but
Chris and I are in 2024. We're here for 2 more years.
We're here for a while, huh?
So does it?
unless you just say I'm out, resign. See you.
Kristen, you're 24.
Yeah, so Chris and I have 3-year terms. Judy,
Judy took over Andy's term.
That's right.
Peter has a 2-year term. You have a 2-year term. And
And then when Jeff becomes,
guessing Judy had a
Full.
3-year?
we pick up whoever's.
Whoever replaces.
All right.
So something else.
Well, as soon as I term, you can take mine. I mean, once I expire, you're good.
That's yeah.
I mean,
You can renew your term, but if you expire, then
yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah. It's a totally
Though we have
different
heard of Stranger Things, so.
we're not gonna prop you up in a chair.
If you want it that badly.
Weekend at Bernie's.
story. Tie her up to Mike's hand. Mike votes for everything. All right. Anything else?
You'll still probably get the count wrong.
Oh, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
And his name.
He's been much better with the name.
It's because I had to write it down phonetically. It's on my screen.
Type it into Google Translate.
That's it.
It's a header.
Yeah, it just keeps scrolling.
For the back door at Town Hall, I've got a bunch of 3x5 foot rugs that you could normally put in like an entryway.
Yep.
They're just taking up space. I could put them in there. They're like rubber on the bottom and
Yep.
like I don't know what you call it, some sort of a coarse rug. We could put them in there to clean people's feet off. The only potential downside is the rubber on the bottom. If they get wet underneath, it's going to keep the floor wet. So I don't know.
Up on the
People
stage
think
area,
about
it's probably
Up
not
up
a
on the
big deal.
stage area.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I
a
don't
big
think it makes
deal
that
up
big of a
there.
deal.
Yeah, I like
Makes
it.
sense to put them up there.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of them.
Yeah, I think next year we should pursue also putting a roof on the back deck also, because that, you said it got really
that's a good
icy,
idea.
right?
Yeah.
This year was awful for ice.
The deck wasn't too bad. It was that flooding back there, that
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
puddle.
Yeah.
Even just a
Puddle.
truckload of gravel or something would help that, so you could walk, without getting ankle deep.
Yeah, it's tough to get back there when you're walking in water this deep, and that's we're telling
Yeah.
everybody to go through the back door.
And the ice was pretty treacherous when it was frozen.
Yeah, it was bad. This year was just especially bad though.
Well, it was that whole thing where, it snowed, then it wasn't even snow. It was like
Yeah.
frozen ice, and then it froze, so it didn't really get plowed out.
Yeah.
And then it started melting, and then it refroze, and that's when it crept up.
A couple of months ago, we had talked about, actually it might have been a little bit longer than that, but we had talked about maybe meeting a little bit earlier.
Yep.
And I know I had a conflict, and I still do, but I'm more flexible now. So if we want to readdress that, we can probably go with a 7:00 start time or something.
Okay.
Well, that was a quick response, Steve.
He's
that-
usually in bed by
The
now.
house didn't work.
Even more so after working
Um,
a real day.
I'm trying to think of when should we do that? Should we just wait till we have a new board and election of officers, which 2 weeks? Or 2 meetings, not 2 weeks.
We should throw something up on Facebook about the openings on the board and stuff,
Mhm.
because we need several alternates, and
Yeah, we have room for 3 more alternates.
we got 2 expiring. So
2 expiring.
if they're Judy's gonna
Never know how long you're gonna be able to keep me upright with the strings.
man. Judy's just like, you know what? I've had enough after
Yeah.
3 months. stint."
I did my quarter.
I'll choose my words more carefully next time.
So anyway,
All right. So 2 meetings or so will address the change in the time. All right.
Well, wait. When does daylight savings time change?
Saturday.
Saturday.
This week.
And we move spring ahead?
Yes.
I'm trying to figure it all out in my brain now. So does
It'll
that
be
mean
light
the
out at
7:30
7.
Meeting's
Yeah.
gonna feel like 8:30?
Yeah, it would be like 9:00 right now.
Vote now? No, we can wait.
Again, the only big thing about spring is that, how many people, like, I don't coach anymore, but how many people coach? Because
Yeah.
you start running into practice schedules. Now you're practicing until 8. You're not practicing until 7 anymore. So,
I coach, but I start my practices at 5.
Yeah, Steve and I are in the same boat. We typically start around 5. Chances are we should be able to get here. I don't even know what nights we're going to practice yet. We haven't figured that out.
No, you changed because at the time John was working till like 7 or so, right? And you couldn't get here.
I have no idea. The meetings were always 7:30 to I had never, they were always 7:30 from the first time I even remember the recognition.
Really? Okay.
meetings. So
We don't know why it was.
I don't know why when it was ever changed, or that long predated me actually. Heck, it has to be at least 15 years ago. Thinking of when I first
I'm
came to
trying
a
to
recognition
think when I
meeting.
was a softball rep, I thought they were at 7. Maybe it was 7:30. I can't remember because John Bryant was on the board at that time, and I know he worked like a little bit of a later shift or something. But
All right. Anything else? Should we call it?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Ruggles, let's roll call vote. Mr. Ruggles?
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Burns?
Aye.
Oskey?
Aye.
Mr. Ames?
Aye.
Ms. Brennan?
I
Motion carries 6-0-0. Thank you.